Factor 4x cubed plus 43x squared plus 30x. When you factor, that means one of two things. GCF, greatest common factor, see if you can rip out something that's in common with all of them. And then maybe if it's a quadratic, you could treat it like a quadratic. Well, that's not a quadratic. However, there's an x in common in all three of these, which means what I can do is pull that x out. That leaves me with 4x squared plus 43x plus 30. Now, what's left over is a quadratic. And this is one of those quadratics where the leading coefficient is not 1. So if you've seen me do this before, this is the Nick Parrish way of factoring quadratics where the leading coefficient is not 1. Not the prettiest thing in the world. But what I like to do is I list out all of my possible options that make 4, so 1 and 4, or 2 and 2. Those guys multiply out to 4. Then I list out all my possible options that multiply out to positive 30. So 1 and 30, 30 and 1. 15 and 2, 2 and 15. 3 and 10, 10 and 3, 6 and 5, 5 and 6, and I think I got all of them. Now what I do is I multiply insides, multiply outsides, add them together, and see which one adds up to 43. So some of this is guessed and test. So I want to pick one that's going to maybe multiply out to 43. So I like the idea of the 1, 4 and the 1, 3. That seems that it could possibly give me a 43. In fact, looking at it, I was wrong, but it's too late. I'm going with it. So let's test out to see what this would look like. Multiply the inside, so that's 4 times 1. Multiply the outside, so that's 30, so that gives you 34. So even though my numbers were correct, my heart wasn't. So I'm thinking, all right, well, if that didn't work, let's try the 1, 4, and let's do the one with the 10 and 3. So let's try a 10 and 3. And again, I'm just trying stuff out because of what I know with math. Let's multiply out this one and see if that guy works. Okay? So multiply the insides. 4 and 3 make 12. Multiply the outsides, 1 and 10 make 10, so that's not my 32. So I probably should have selected this guy instead. Multiply the insides, 4 and 10 make 40. Multiply the outsides, 1 and 3 make 3, and that gets me 43. That's my guy. So the inside quadratic is going to have x's. Since I chose to go with the 1 and 4, you're going to be 1, you're going to be 4, in that order. Those are the numbers attached to the x. The numbers that are attached to nothing in that order are going to be 10 and 3. So you're plus 10, and you're plus 3. That x is still there. Story of my life. So you have x plus 10, because I'm getting rid of that 1. You have 4x plus 3. And that's how you factor that monstrosity. And it is a monstrosity. It's not fun at all.